Cannot mine.
Saladang, who's that behind you? Oh, that's your. Oh, okay. Good morning, Dede. You're not crying this morning.
Online class connecting him.
Yes.
Bless me with knowledge and understanding. Bless my country, my parents, teachers, brothers and sisters, and to all who do good to me.
Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning,
Good morning,
sir.
sir.
Let us speak clearly and speak one by one. If all of you speak together, it is going to be very noisy and no one will understand. Have you seen those TV debates on TV when everyone is shouting at the same time? You don't know who is saying what. So this is and today let us go to Poland, national movements of Poland. It's there in page 120. Let us look at where is Poland. Let me put back the screen again.
Yes, sir.
This is India, and as we go west, we keep going west, and this is Europe. And let's zoom in. And right here, this is Poland. Now let's turn to your books. Now the thing about Poland is that very unfortunately, they were all right even up to, let us say, the Second World War. Even after the Second World War, up to the Cold War, they were not really independent. They were always under the control of some foreign power, and the reasons and the causes, maybe you will study it later when you go to college and the university. But in your textbook, we go to study the history from 17th century up to 18th century. Very briefly, it's not a very long topic. Firstly, there were three countries and they partitioned it among Russia, and Austria. Even if you can't remember the years, you could remember the three letters R, P, and A.
RPA.
Or you simply remember R, A, and P. What does RAP sound like? How many of you listen to rap music? Most of you, I think. So remember RAP, R for
Russia.
very good. P for
Prussia.
By the way, Prussia is the old name of which country?
Germany.
Very good. It was one of the Germanic states, and when they finally united in 1871, they gave up the name of Prussia or other Bavaria and other Germanic states.
They unite
and united as Germany. Okay, then we're left with A. What is A?
Austria.
Very good. Austria-Hungary, and the Habsburgs. We just studied it yesterday. So remember three powers: Russia, Prussia, and Austria. Now, among these powers, who do you think is the most powerful?
Prussia.
They imposed the Russian language. Okay, now if you remember there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's how they had occupied, I think, almost 90% of Poland. Do you see that where I'm pointing out with my
Yes, sir.
So the next thing that happened was in 1831, they had an uprising It's also called the November Uprising. And it was quite violent. They took up arms, and the book says there was an armed rebellion. And naturally, Russia is such a big country with such a powerful army. When the Polish people took up arms and they fought against the Russians, who do you think won?
Russia.
Yes, Russians won, and the Polish people went to even more suffering. So what happened after that? Did they keep quiet? Did they surrender? No. They used the church. They used the language as a weapon. The book says as a weapon of national resistance. Imposition of Russian language will mean that they used only the Russian language was allowed, permitted in the schools and colleges, but in the churches there's no restriction. And the priests, the pastors, the speakers, they used it. They continued speaking the Polish language. What do you think the Russians? How do you think they would have reacted?
A large number of priests and bishops were imprisoned or exiled to Siberia as a punishment.
As punishment for their refusal to preach in Russian language.
Yes, at the screen. What the Russians did was they called the priests and the churches and they told them you must preach in the Russian language. And the priests, they refused. And so they were sent or imprisoned and sent to exile in Siberia. Now, do you know where Siberia is? Let me just show you on the map. Now, Siberia is the world's largest prison without any walls.
Prison, yes.
Because it is in a very remote part of Russia. Yes, so this is a very big area. And what the Russians would do is they would just take the prisoners there and leave them there. You can see how far away it is. So if anyone wanted to run away, they would probably die of cold, and it's a very cold place. They would die of cold or hunger, or they would be eaten by wild animals. The last year to remember is 1863. They succeeded to revive their Polish language and literature, which means that the Russians gave them a small concession. They allowed them, or they permitted them to use their Polish language. So it's a small victory for them. But still then they continued to be under the Russians, and this continued until they got their independence sometime. So today's topic was very short, but I think you can remember it easily. It is a short topic of Poland. Please do revise. And
Sir, when will be the school reopen?
Well, as of now, the education department has only said that you have to continue with online classes. And the board has also put up certain books online. I have posted the link in the WhatsApp group. If I is there, you can download it. You can see it on your phone. But when schools will reopen, that I really don't know. But in the meantime, time still goes on, and your board exams, it cannot be cancelled. It will not be cancelled. The only thing is it may be delayed, because when we have this online class, the link and the password will only be shared in this class 10 WhatsApp group. And also please note that meeting link, please don't share it to anyone outside the group. Okay, history is a little boring, and sometimes it gives, even me, I get a headache studying it. You will also get a headache. But history is useful because for competitive exams, we will, from the next chapters regarding Indian history, it will be there in your syllabus, in the question paper. Right? So practice and keep writing whatever exercises, assignments at the back of the book. You please start it. All right. Okay then. Let us end for today. Take care. Bye bye. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye.
Yes, sir.